First of all, I'm sorry if the audio sucks because I'm recording this in a bedroom and it's raining out there. Sorry. Alright, let's begin. It was around 11 p.m. and I couldn't sleep. You know when you can't sleep? Yeah, that was me on the night of November 30, 2025. So I started browsing in the House of Horrorbrew's, and more specifically the Luigi.exe section. Until I thought, what if I add that one Luigi.exe from SMG4 to the House of Horrorbrew's? I don't even know why he isn't here in the first place. I thought it was because SMG4 stuff wasn't allowed, but that would make sense since there are Horrorbrew's based or related to SMG4 in the wiki. I was still sleepless, and since I didn't have anything important to do the next day, I decided to make a page for him. He's technically a Z after all. He has a game that he comes from a game named Super Mario 64.exe, and unlike other characters on the channel, he's taken much more seriously in the video he appears in despite being a joke character, compared to other horror characters like Slenderman and Sonic.exe, which perfectly fits the description of a joke horror brew. The wiki says, joke horror brew introduces an aspect alongside their horror that adds to them being horror brew, most often in the form of parody or outright comedy. Keep these two words in mind because they will be important later on. Jokes can only go so far though. Don't forget that you're still making a horror film. And since characters like I Hate You, Luigi and Gilbert are very similar to SMG4's Luigi.exe in those aspects, I decided to add him to the wiki. Before you ask, yes, I already knew it could be deleted and that it will happen very soon since there are several people in the horror community who dislike SMG4 as a whole for some reason. So then I thought differently. For how long is even going to be considered a horror film? So I made his page and waited. I admit that making his page was probably the second most fun to make page I've ever made. And I like the final result. Unfortunately, I don't have any more screenshots of it, but I will describe what it looked like. The main image was this one, similar to the one on his SMG4 wiki page, and there was only one other image, which was a thumbnail for the video he debuted. Every Luigi is personalized. And this episode was based on the urban legend every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized. So that was one of the categories I had. I remember adding the in-universe because it was too lazy to go after the multi-dimensional one, the joke horror and the scars horror pages on top of his page. His template was vastly different from the one on the SMG4 wiki, as I wanted to add more details so his page wouldn't be too empty. I also remember initially putting SMG4 Mario.exe in the brother section, but then later on I changed it to MX SMG4 canon. Writing his lore was also fun, since I remember practically the entire episode, so I basically wrote down what happened in that episode according to my memory. The appearance was simply taken from the SMG4 wiki because that was one of the last things I did, and even though I don't write much about the personality, I found the concept interesting. It's just normal Luigi, but when he's separated from his brother, he goes crazy and starts acting like he did in the video, which is something I haven't seen other horror do, and that fits perfectly for SMG4 horror, at least in my mind. Not to mention it fits with the original Mario brothers being so close to each other. It's a brilliant concept and I'd love to see how he'd take of it someday. Back to his page, the abilities were the same as in the SMG4 wiki, but I added superhuman strength and superhuman durability. And for the trivia, I wrote some that had to do with the episode itself and even with his creation. And then his page was done. And ironically, I was able to sleep afterwards. Last night I went to check his page after editing in the morning to correct a spelling mistake and noticed that the page has been deleted. And the reason was strange, at least to me. It said that it doesn't fall under Horrorbrew's jurisdiction for the same reason Dictator Mario does. Okay, like I said, I was already expecting his page to be deleted, but that this was the reason? But it not being a horror for the same reason as Dictator Mario? In case you don't know, parodies like Berserk Mario and Dictator Mario are allowed on the wiki, and I not only understand, but also agree with that. It makes sense. But unlike these two, SMG4 Luigi.exe is taken quite seriously, since he almost killed the whole main cast and is not some goofy and joking around like a average SMG4 character. Oh, but it was made as a joke to parody the horror media. I wonder why I Hate You Luigi was created. Oh, but he doesn't have enough information to be a horror joke. Oh, but well, SMG4 doesn't take it seriously. Bro, have you even watched that damn episode? And also, even if he's a parody, which yes, probably is a parody of horror media, It doesn't mean he can't be in the wiki because the wiki allows some type of parodies and comedy, as long as it's still a horror brew. But I've seen several horror brews in the joke section of the wiki that have far fewer characters of horror brew than Luigi.exe. Okay, that sounded kind of bad. Crap. Okay, I just hope nobody took this seriously because I'm making this video just to keep my channel from being inactive, even though it's already hit. And also to recount this kind of a typical experience to say the least. I honestly don't care if he isn't coming back to the wiki. It was a horror for one day after all. At least for one day it was a horror. I just want to understand why this is the reason he was removed from the wiki. Like, as I say, they already knew he wouldn't last long. And I just received a message from a friend. Oh my god, I'm famous. I'm fucking famous right now. Okay, stop. I just hope I can fall asleep now because I'm dying of sleepiness. That's it. See you soon, and please don't kill me over a joke video like this. Please don't kill me. My Discord's everything in the description, so if you wanna battle with me, let's go. No, don't do this. Don't do this. I regret it. Don't. It's not fun. No guns allowed in Christmas, please.